Here's Brody Brazil.
I would say this is breaking news here on a Thursday morning, except we kind of knew this process was already in motion, that the Boston Celtics were up for sale. It's just that today, officially, they have been sold, and the eye-catching thing is how much money they were sold for. It sets a brand new record across North American professional sports, what a team was bought for. But the Boston Celtics, one of the NBA's proudest franchises, one of the most legendary franchises in all of professional sports, they're changing hands. Look at all of the banners. Look at all of the history. Look at the parquet floor. I still wish Larry Bird was out there playing for the Celtics. That's kind of what I grew up on, but I digress. Here are the main details of the sale of the Boston Celtics. The sale price, $6.1 billion, the most ever for any U.S. professional sports team. Now, they eclipsed the Washington Commanders from a couple years ago, and by like a little slim margin, just a little bit more, but we'll discuss why the Celtics sold for more than they're actually even valued at, and why that trend is likely to continue in just a second. The buyers, plural, are actually a group led by private equity executive Bill Chisholm. And Bill's a Boston native, grew up in the area, went to school in the Boston area. That feels like it's important to Boston fans and the Boston community. Their sports teams are precious, if that's the right word, should I say, in the New England area. So they need somebody who's from there to own the team, to really feel like it has an authentic hold on the franchise and the fan base and everything else. So in that sense, it's a group, right? And I believe the firm 6th Street is also in there too for about $1 billion of this purchase. It's a group. It kind of has to be at $6.1 billion. There's not a lot of individuals or families anymore that can buy teams for these valuations and these prices. So it is a group, and Bill Chisholm is the front person of all of that. And that's who's going to own the team. Now, the process, it's a long-term process on two parts. Number one, the sale just doesn't instantly happen tomorrow. The transition will take place over this summer. They've still got some front office executives, some C-level people from the prior ownership. That will all transition with approval, right? The NBA still has to approve this. They haven't commented on it yet. Maybe by the time you're watching this, they have. But if the sale if the sale is approved instantly, it'll happen and become official over the summer. And I said earlier, this is no surprise because the team was basically announced and put up for sale right after they won the title last summer in 2024. What a great time to sell your team. Like, if you are going to unload a pro sports team, why not? Right after they won an NBA title, that seems like a good time. When you got Larry O'Brien and the Larry O'Brien trophy in your mantle, the most recent one, that seems like a pretty good time to sell your team. So this has been coming for a while. The fact that it's now is newsworthy, and the fact that it's for $6.1 billion catches a lot of eyes. It surpasses the Commanders' purchase back in 2023. They sold for $6.05 billion, so we're not like doubling the amount. We're just barely eclipsing it. But I think what makes all of this interesting is that CNBC had done NBA team valuations across the league. This was only back in February, like last month, and they had the Celtics at $5.5 billion. Now, I know what you're thinking. All right, 5.5, 6.1, but that's still $600 million over a valuation, and sometimes valuations are even high. But it just goes to show you that valuations and what teams are bought for, sometimes they're two different things. And in the case of the NBA, you've got valuations skyrocketing because of the TV deal, which we'll talk about in just a second. You've also got teams like the Warriors that are out there, valued at $9.4 billion. Now, the Warriors haven't changed hands in more than 10 years, but it's interesting now, like the valuations have gone up big time in the last decade, but we haven't seen a lot of these teams actually change hands and be sold during that span. So now we're finally starting to see a team be sold for $6 billion, and hypothetically, like the Warriors are not for sale. And you know that their ownership group really loves where they're at, what they're doing, and their properties, everything that they have. They're adding a WNBA team. But if the Warriors were to sell right now and they're valued at 9.4, I mean, could they get $11 billion? Are the Warriors worth $11 billion? It's certainly possible. All of these teams, all of these NBA teams could actually sell for more than they're valued at right now. And a big reason why is because the NBA and their most recent media rights deal that was secured for 11 years, it's worth $76 billion with Disney and NBC and Amazon. And if you're buying into this, you love that deal because that is guaranteed money. Beyond the merchandise, beyond the revenue of tickets and everything else that you make as an NBA team, to know that all you have to do is play games and this money is guaranteed and this money is a lot, like that increases the valuation of your franchise. You're instantly getting that kickback. So because you're getting that, now your franchise is worth more. You could turn around and sell it for a lot more. And trust me, when the Celtics went up for sale, they knew that these things were in the works. And shortly after they figured out this was all going to happen, they know their team is worth a lot more. Don't get me wrong, though. The Celtics have their own value. They've got 18 titles to their name. If you've ever been to their either the Boston Garden or the TD Garden and you've seen all the banners up there, and they have a history of being good, but currently the second best record in the Eastern Conference. And yeah, good chance to defend their title again this season. So can you imagine buying in and now hoping that they win another title? And maybe I don't think they plan to resell the team. They're not going to flip it. This isn't like a house, like a real estate project, but the valuation is only going to go up from here. It may not go and grow as fast as it has in the last couple of years, but you can definitely see it's only going up. So again, the Boston Celtics, kind of breaking news today. They've officially been sold for the highest price ever of a U.S. professional sports team. Thought that was interesting. Thought that would be worth passing along. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Also, while you're down there, thumbs up on this video. Helps me, this video, and this channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe so I can definitely see you back here next time. Hit that subscribe button.